people.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Classic Rock Reviews Unfiltered. Mike and Dave, and special guest Jack Doherty.
Hello.
So we're gonna do before we do Mike's album, we're gonna do a little another segment of the show what we call musical instrument education. So we are going to be educated here by Dave Green's wife EJ, who is a music teacher for a good 35 years, and she's amazing. I think she did grade school, right?
Yeah.
There she is. You're on.
Hi.
Tell me when you can see everyone.
Hello.
Hi
Hey,
guys.
can you see Mike?
How's everyone
Yeah.
Yep.
There he is. How you doing, Age?
You might want to move closer to the.
doing good?
Yeah.
Good. So
I'm ready. I've actually made notes.
awesome.
We're gonna put you nice and close to the speaker.
Okay, sounds good.
So we've been, as you know, our group is Queen, right?
Yes. Yes.
And they've used a couple of instruments. I mean, they do, obviously the guitar, the piano, everything, the usual instruments. But there's most bands that do kind of different instruments that we're not all too familiar with. And so one of those instruments that is used by Freddie is a tack piano. And
Yes.
I don't think you're using tack pianos in your grade school, were you?
No. However, I did do I always had a whole fourth quarter assignment where I called it unconventional project with my percussion only class, and they could use any of their anything to make whatever sound. And so, like, a tack piano is basically they use like tacks inside the piano to make that sort of tinky tink tink ting sound. And there's like all sorts of things. If you open a piano up, you can use like drumsticks on it. You can create like different sounds by just like messing it with that in that way. But I think that's pretty creative that he used that.
Yeah, and it does. I mean, there are other groups that have used it. The Beatles used it in Rocky Raccoon. There's a part where they use that, the tack piano. Captain and Tennille used it as well.
What
Good
did they use it
Vibrations, the
in?
Beach Boys, Good Vibrations uses it.
She wondered what did Captain and Tennille use.
Oh, Love Will Keep Us Together.
Oh, wow.
Dun.
Wow.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
now I can actually hear it in my brain. Yeah.
yeah. So now we can discredit that particular
I don't
ditty.
know. They did some good songs, right?
Yeah, but love will keep us together.
I love that.
That might have
It's
been
a great
one of
song,
the
but
worst.
it didn't keep them together.
That's true.
So another musical instrument each that we and we've all heard of the timpani,
Right.
right? But maybe you could kind of have you used the timpani with your kids at all?
Many times.
Yeah.
Timpani, for those who don't know, they're like giant like kettle drums. They're just big drums that are. There's usually four of them, and they're pitched like there's a smaller one that you can pitch it between these like 6, 7, like an octave. There's a bigger one. Each one gets bigger, and then they have a pedal on the bottom, so you can adjust the sounds. You can actually get you can do get like a cool gliss with it, but they usually pitch them so that they can do like 4 different notes, and they're almost always like bum 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 bum. And I kind of described it as like a font. It's like a bold font or an italic,
Right.
like some way to like bold up the music. So when they add a timpani, it's usually like some way of delivering it. But I did hear it in Bohemian Rhapsody, which, by the way, I was listening. There were 4 different things that I noticed in Bohemian Rhapsody that they used percussion-wise that was different than like normal. The beginning starts with like not that it's different than normal, but they do a suspended cymbal roll, so you can hear that at the very beginning, and then it literally be like minute 2 or right around there, right when it sends shivers down my spine, that part. They use this, and I had to listen to it a whole bunch of times, and to be honest with you, still not sure what they use, but it sounds like either like a big triangle making like kind of mimicking shivers, or a ship bell, or like there's a thing called a bell tree that has like a bunch of like little bells in a row, and maybe it's the bottom of those bell trees. I don't know, but that was cool. They do the timpani on where it's the operatic piece.
Yeah, the Galileo part.
Yeah, and that's totally like that. That would be where it fits awesome because it's right in like so operatic. And then at the end they use a gong at the end, or some people call it a tam tam, which is the exact same thing.
Yeah,
just
that's an incredible way to end a song. Is on that song is a gong to the final.
Yeah.
But tell me something. That I've been a member of the Chris family household for almost 40 years, and you guys used to have the musical instrument songs. I don't know if you remember the song, but one of the part was the timpani. Can you tell me what 5-1-1-5-5-5-5-5-1 is?
So 1 is basically like do re mi fa sol la ti do. So 1 is do, and then sol is 5. So do re mi fa sol, and so 5-1-1-5, and so that's basically it's like 1 is your home tone, and you can go backwards like 1-5-1-5, and it gets you like it's basically ending chords. Most of your like symphonies end with like bum bum, and that's how they end the song. And so it's like a good resolution to a song. And if I like stopped it, like ended a song on like note 5, it would feel unresolved to you. If I was like, I'm singing a song to, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's very similar to quantum mechanics.
But are there notes in between too, though? Is there 4-3-2-1 on a kettle, or 4-3-2 on a kettle drum?
You could create, yes, you can adjust the timpani to any pitches you need, but you have to, like, usually they stick with like 4, and then if they have to change it, they have to like put their ear really close to the timpani and tap on it while they're moving the pedal with your foot, so you can adjust it, and you just have to have a really good ear to do that. But yeah, so there are a lot of times, especially like with beginner music, which is more my grade level, they would use like 1, 4, and 5. Those are common chords. All like your basic, and actually a lot of rock music is 1, 4, 5. There's a lot of that in there, but occasionally if you get like a minor song in a minor, which makes it way easier, or like jazzy music, they'll put like a 2 in there, or a 7. 7 is like a leading tone, so it kind of leads up to 1. But almost all of your songs end on 1. Like it's a resolution right to end on 1. Yeah. Yes, it feels for Western music, a 1 is like we're done with the song, and it feels good. And I mean, even though like I know you're not talking about the Beatles right now, but like the Beatles had some kind of modal different songs that were like kind of started on 2 and went up to 2, and it just feels different. But there's a way to make that sound correctly. But it almost has like a medieval sound to it, or like an other world, like an other culture. Those modes are like more popular. But yeah, we're used to the good old do re mi fa sol la ti do sort of thing.
Does a timpani have a C, D, E, F, G? I mean, a B, notes. So what is the 1? And so 1 is E.
Well, what is? It could be any. So each timpani, can create like 2 octaves. So if you have a higher timpani, you can get anywhere from this C to that C. Or you have a bigger timpani, you're obviously going to get lower C's, or low. Well, I'm making C as an example, but you can. It'll just depend on the octave, but you can literally with your foot, when you hit the timpani and use your foot to push down on the pedal, it'll automatically go higher because you're basically tightening the drum head, so it's getting smaller. Yeah. So it's kind of like boom. So you can literally get like almost a slur of every note in there, but you can adjust it. You can hit it once, boom, and then if you've got a good enough ear, you can push slightly on that pedal, get the next note up in a scale, boom, and then push it a little bit farther, boom, and keep going. Or you can use all 4 and kind of change it up as you're moving around. Like really talented people can do a lot of cool timpani things. But
She sometimes treats me as her timpani.
Yes.
He's only got two tones, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, thanks, Eej. I've learned something new about both instruments. They do
good.
play on Fanfare for the Common Man. Has the timpani right at the beginning. ELP,
Yes.
which did a rendition of Fanfare for the Common Man. By the way, it's awesome. But ELP, that right at the very beginning, is the timpani.
And that's Copeland is one of my favorite composers. So it's like,
Yeah,
good stuff.
yeah. Well, thanks, Eej.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right,
one
see you
more
later.
one more question. Can do you release all rights to this videotape and everything set
I
up on
do.
it?
I do indeed.
All right, excellent. Then I'm
The
coming.
cerebral
Then I will
one.
come home tonight.
Okay.
Thanks, Eej.
All right.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, there you go. You get education here too. It's not just our opinions. But,
Yeah, junior high education. No, I'm kidding.
well, we're all junior high.
No, that was better than yeah. There's a part of all of us left in junior high. That's for sure for me. Seventh grade. Some part of David Green is still hovering over that junior high.
All right. Okay. And one for me too.
Half of it.
Like
All right,
Clark, looks like you use
Yeah,
a cold
looks
one.
like you're all on your side.
Oh my gosh! All right, so I have
Wait.
heart attack.
If I may, just to make sure you don't run out of time on this one, do you want to?
Yeah, we'll stop it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll have
Could
one
I-
too.
All right,
Since he's stopping
thank
it,
you.
I wouldn't ask otherwise.